Before we dive in, please remember that this video is for informational and educational purposes only. The job market and salary data can change rapidly. The career choices you make are your own, so please conduct your own thorough research. This presentation is not financial or career advice. One of these cloud platforms pays on average $22,000 more per year in the United States. And chances are it's not the one you think. You're trying to build a future-proof career in tech. You see the headlines, you hear the buzzwords, AI, machine learning, cloud native. And you know deep down that hitching your wagon to the right cloud platform is the single most important decision you can make. It's the difference between a good career and a great one. The difference between a six-figure salary and a life-changing salary. But the cloud landscape has become a battlefield. And in this fight for your loyalty, for your skills, and for your future, two giants are clashing in a way most people don't even see. This is not another boring spec-for-spec comparison video. I'm not going to read you a list of instance types. This is a career strategy session specifically for the US market. We are going to break down piece by piece which of these two titans, the innovator Google Cloud and the silent giant Oracle Cloud, is the right choice for your American dream. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which platform aligns with your salary goals, your desired work-life balance, and your long-term career ambitions. We're going to dissect the job market, the real salary numbers you can expect, the types of companies that will hire you, and the secret career paths that each platform unlocks. This is the conversation the recruiters aren't having with you, and the one your college professor doesn't even know about. In one corner, you have the darling of Silicon Valley, Google Cloud Platform or GCP. It's the cool kid, the innovator. It's sleek, it's developer-friendly, and it's powered by the same legendary infrastructure that runs Google Search and YouTube. When you think of cutting-edge AI, of massive data analytics with BigQuery, of the Kubernetes revolution with GKE, you're thinking of Google. Startups love it. Media companies build on it. It's the platform for builders, for disruptors, for those who want to be on the bleeding edge of what's possible. It's the symbol of the new school tech economy. And in the other corner you have the titan, the institution, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure or OCI. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Oracle? Seriously? Isn't that just my grandpa's database company? The guys in the stuffy suits. And if that's your first thought, I don't blame you. But that's a 2015 mindset. And holding on to that in today's market is one of the most career-limiting mistakes you can make. While everyone was watching the flashy front end, Oracle was quietly re-engineering its entire business from the ground up to build a second-generation cloud focused on one thing: running the most critical, high-performance, and secure workloads on the planet. Think about it this way. Google Cloud is building the flashy, self-driving electric sports car. It's exciting, it's fast, and it gets all the headlines. Oracle Cloud is building the unshakable, reinforced concrete foundation for the world's tallest skyscraper. It's not as sexy, but it's what the entire global economy is built on top of. We're talking about the world's largest banks, telecommunications companies, governments, and 99% of the Fortune 100. They don't run their core mission-critical systems on hype. They run them on Oracle. OCI is the plumbing of the global financial system, the backbone of international logistics, the silent engine that powers the companies you interact with every single day, whether you know it or not. So the choice isn't just about technology. It's a choice of philosophy. It's a choice about the kind of career you want to build. Do you want to join a fast-moving startup that's trying to disrupt an industry? A place where you'll wear a dozen hats and work on the latest open-source tools? Google Cloud is your arena. Or, do you want to architect the systems that handle millions of transactions per second for a global investment bank? A place where stability, security, and performance are not just goals. They are absolute, non-negotiable requirements. A place where your work has a massive immediate impact on a multi-billion-dollar enterprise? That is the world of Oracle Cloud. This is the fundamental divide we're going to explore. The speedboat versus the supertanker. And understanding this difference is the key to unlocking your true earning potential and career satisfaction. Let's get right into the meat of it. Let's talk about jobs. Not just the number of jobs, but the nature of those jobs right here in the United States. If you go onto LinkedIn or Indeed right now and type Google Cloud, you're going to see a flood of results. You'll see titles like Cloud Engineer, DevOps Engineer, Site Reliability Engineer, and Data Scientist. These jobs are heavily concentrated in major tech hubs. Think San Francisco, Seattle, Austin, New York City. They are often with tech-first companies, digital native businesses, and startups that have been born in the cloud. The energy is palpable. The work is often project-based, focused on building new products and features. It's an exciting, dynamic environment. The upside is immense if you join the right startup at the right time. The downside can be more volatile. Startups pivot, funding rounds dry up, and the project you poured your heart into for 6 months can be shelved overnight. Now try the same search for Oracle Cloud or OCI. You'll see jobs for sure, but the picture is different. The volume might seem lower at first glance, and that's because you're looking in the wrong place. The most valuable Oracle Cloud jobs aren't always labeled OCI engineer. This is the secret almost no one talks about. They are embedded within other, more senior, more critical enterprise roles. You'll see titles like Senior Database Architect, ERP Cloud Consultant, PeopleSoft Administrator, or Lead Infrastructure Engineer. And the companies hiring for these roles? They aren't flashy startups. They are a roll call of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We're talking about AT&T, Verizon, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, FedEx, Pfizer. These are the bedrock institutions of the US economy. These aren't jobs about building the next social media app. These are jobs about migrating a multi-petabyte financial database that underpins the entire US mortgage market to the cloud. These are jobs about managing the HR and supply chain systems for a company with 300,000 employees. The work is less about chasing the latest trend and more about ensuring absolute, bulletproof reliability for systems that simply cannot fail. The pace might be more measured, but the responsibility is immense. And here's the kicker for your career stability. During an economic downturn, which jobs do you think get cut first? The experimental AI project at a startup? Or the team that manages the core transaction database for a national bank? The Oracle Cloud professional is often in a role that is seen as a cost center you cannot live without. They are a utility like electricity. This provides a level of job security that is increasingly rare in the tech world. So the job market isn't a simple numbers game. It's a tale of two different worlds. Google Cloud offers a high volume of visible, tech-forward roles in concentrated hubs, often with higher risk and higher potential for explosive growth. Oracle Cloud offers deeply embedded, mission-critical roles spread across the entire country, wherever large enterprises exist, often with more stability, less volatility, and a direct line of sight to the core business operations. The first question you need to ask yourself is not which cloud is better, but which of these two worlds do I want to live in? Because your answer to that question will guide every other decision we're about to make. And one of the biggest of those decisions is money. How much can you actually expect to make with each of these skills? That's coming up next, and the numbers are going to surprise you. All right, let's talk about the numbers. The dollars and cents. Because at the end of the day, a career move has to make financial sense for you and your family. If you go to a typical job site right now and type in Oracle Cloud Engineer, you'll see an average salary in the United States hovering around $135,000 a year. Now do the same for Google Cloud Engineer. The number that pops up is often closer to $155,000 a year. And right there, most people stop. They see a $20,000 difference and think, case closed. Google Cloud pays more. And if you make your decision based on that simple surface-level search, you would be making a potentially massive career mistake. Because that average salary figure, it's a lie. Not an intentional lie, but it's one of the most misleading statistics in the tech industry. It's like saying the average temperature on Earth is 61 degrees Fahrenheit. That information is technically true, but it's utterly useless if you're trying to decide whether to pack a parka or a swimsuit for your trip. To understand the real salary landscape, you have to understand the fundamentally different worlds these two clouds operate in. They are built for and sold to completely different types of customers, and that dictates everything about the jobs, the pay, and your career trajectory. Let's start with Oracle. Think of Oracle's customer base as the Fortune 500 and the US government. We're talking about the bedrock of the American economy. The largest banks, the biggest insurance companies, the major airlines, massive hospital networks, and federal agencies. These are organizations that have been running on Oracle databases and Oracle software for 20, 30, even 40 years. Their entire business, worth billions and sometimes trillions of dollars, is built on an Oracle foundation. For them, moving to the cloud isn't a fun experiment. It's not about building a cool new app. It's about performing open-heart surgery on the technological core of their company. It is a slow, methodical, high-stakes process of migrating mission-critical systems that simply cannot fail. The job of an Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI, professional in this world is often about stability, security, and reliability at an immense scale. You're not just a cloud engineer. You're a trusted guardian of systems that process billions of transactions a day. Because of this, the salary structure in the Oracle world is different. That $135,000 average is heavily weighted by companies in places that aren't Silicon Valley. Think major banking hubs like Charlotte, North Carolina, or corporate headquarters in Dallas, Texas, or government contracting centers in Northern Virginia. The pay is fantastic for those areas, offering an incredible quality of life. The career path is often more structured, more predictable. You climb a corporate ladder. Your bonuses are tied to company performance, and your job security is often much higher, because these legacy companies are not prone to the volatile boom and bust cycles of the startup world. It's a career built on a foundation of granite. Now let's look at Google Cloud's world. If Oracle is the bedrock, Google Cloud is the launchpad. Google was late to the cloud game, so they couldn't compete by just being another version of Amazon's AWS. They had to play to their strengths: data, analytics, artificial intelligence, and Kubernetes. As a result, Google Cloud Platform, or GCP, became the go-to choice for the disruptors. The tech startups, the digital native companies, the data science teams building the next generation of machine learning models. These are companies that are not migrating a 30-year-old database. They are building something brand new from scratch, and they need the most powerful cutting-edge tools to do it. The job of a GCP engineer is about speed, innovation, and experimentation. You're working with technologies like BigQuery to analyze petabytes of data in seconds, or using Vertex AI to build and deploy complex machine learning pipelines. The culture is often faster, more agile, and sometimes more chaotic. This is where that $155,000 average comes from. It's heavily skewed by astronomical salaries in the most expensive cities on the planet: Mountain View, Seattle, New York City. In these tech hubs, a senior GCP engineer with specialized skills isn't making $155. They're making $250, $300, even $350,000 or more. Once you factor in stock options and bonuses, the potential for explosive financial growth is immense. You might be getting equity in a startup that could be worth millions one day, but the risk is also higher. That startup could also run out of money in 18 months. Your job security is tied to the next round of venture capital funding. It's a career built on a rocket ship. So the first question you have to ask yourself isn't, which pays more? It's, which world do I want to live in? Do you want the stability, the broad geographic options, and the critical responsibility of the Oracle Enterprise world? Or do you want the high-risk, high-reward, cutting-edge environment of the Google Cloud startup ecosystem? A $180,000 salary in Austin, Texas working for a Fortune 500 company on OCI is a very different life than a $250,000 package in San Francisco working for a GCP-powered startup. Neither is inherently better. They are just profoundly different. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The publicly listed salaries don't tell the whole story. There is a massive, hidden job market for both of these skills that completely changes the financial equation. For Oracle, the secret is that many of the highest-paying jobs aren't even advertised as Oracle Cloud roles. Think about it. A massive bank isn't just hiring an OCI engineer. They're hiring a senior database architect or an ERP systems manager who has the added skill of migrating their colossal Oracle e-business suite to the cloud. These are people who have deep, specialized knowledge of the existing Oracle ecosystem. When they add OCI certification to their resume, their value skyrockets. They become one of a tiny handful of people on the planet who can bridge the old world and the new world for that company. They aren't just getting a salary. They are writing their own ticket. We're talking consulting rates of $200, $300 an hour or more. The money isn't in being a generic cloud engineer. It's in being the Oracle whisperer who understands the cloud. For Google Cloud, the hidden market is in hyper-specialization. Companies aren't just looking for a GCP engineer. That's too generic. A fintech startup isn't just hiring someone who knows GCP. They are desperately searching for a GCP data engineer with BigQuery expertise who can help them build a real-time fraud detection system. A media company is paying a massive premium for a GCP DevOps specialist who is a world-class expert in Google Kubernetes Engine, or GKE, to manage their global streaming platform. In the Google world, your salary is a direct function of your specialized knowledge in these high-demand niches. If you're a generalist, you'll command a good salary. If you are a recognized expert in a specific, business-critical GCP service, you become a strategic asset, and companies will enter a bidding war to hire you. That's how you get those compensation packages that sound like typos. You solve a very specific, very expensive problem for them using a very specific Google Cloud tool. So we see two completely different paths to an incredible income. Oracle's path is often about leveraging deep industry and legacy system knowledge, providing stability and incredible value within the backbone of the economy. Google's path is about mastering the bleeding edge of technology, providing innovative solutions for the companies aiming to become the future backbone of the economy. The financial opportunities are immense on both sides, but they demand different skills, different mindsets, and different career strategies. But of course, a high salary doesn't mean anything if you can't get your foot in the door. So, which platform actually has more job openings in the United States right now? Where are these jobs located, and what are the actual day-to-day skills you need to land one? The real-world data on the job market itself is even more surprising than the salary numbers. And that's exactly what we're breaking down next. Let's start with the raw, unfiltered numbers, because numbers don't lie. If you go to a major US job board right now and type in Google Cloud Platform, or GCP, you'll see a sea of openings. Depending on the day, we're talking tens of thousands of roles across the United States that mention GCP as a required or desired skill. It looks like an absolute gold rush. Now do the same for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. The number is smaller, significantly smaller. On the surface, it looks like a blowout. Case closed, right? Google Cloud is the obvious choice for your career. More jobs equals more opportunity. But if you believe that, you are walking straight into the biggest career trap in cloud computing. Because the number of public job postings tells you less than half the story. It's like looking at the tip of an iceberg. What truly matters, what determines your career trajectory, your job security, and your day-to-day happiness, is not the quantity of the jobs, but the quality and character of those jobs. And this is where Oracle and Google are playing two completely different games, on two completely different fields. Let's dissect Oracle first. Think of Oracle's strategy not as a land grab, but as a fortress reinforcement. For decades, Oracle has been the king of the enterprise database. Their software runs the financial systems, the supply chains, the human resources departments of the vast majority of Fortune 500 companies. These are massive, multi-billion-dollar corporations. They have Oracle's DNA embedded deep inside their operations. They are not going to rip it out. It would be like a human trying to perform a heart and lung transplant on themselves. It's too risky, too complex, and too expensive. So Oracle's cloud strategy, and therefore its job market, is laser-focused on one thing: convincing its massive existing customer base to move their Oracle workloads from their own on-premise data centers into Oracle's cloud infrastructure. The OCI job you're likely to find isn't at some trendy startup building a new social media app. It's at a major bank, a national insurance company, a giant retailer, or a state government agency. The job title might be cloud engineer, but the real work is migration specialist. Your primary task will be to help these behemoth organizations lift and shift their mission-critical Oracle databases, their PeopleSoft HR systems, their J.D. Edwards supply chain software, into OCI. This means the most valuable skills in the OCI world aren't just about cloud networking or virtual machines. They are deep, specialized knowledge of the Oracle ecosystem. Do you understand Exadata? Do you know the intricacies of Oracle Database 19c performance tuning? Can you navigate the complexities of Oracle Fusion applications? These jobs are incredibly sticky. Once a company moves its core Oracle systems to OCI, they are locked in for the long haul. This translates to phenomenal job security for you. These are stable, predictable, and often very high-paying roles because you are the expert entrusted with the company's crown jewels. The downside can be less glamorous. You're not necessarily building the next big thing. You're maintaining and optimizing the current big thing. You're an architect reinforcing a fortress, not an explorer discovering new lands. Now let's look at Google Cloud. Google is playing a completely different game. They are the explorers. They are waging guerrilla warfare against AWS and Azure. They know they can't win the lift and shift battle for old-school enterprise workloads. That's Oracle and Microsoft's turf. So they aren't trying to capture the fortress. They're trying to build brand new cities on undiscovered continents. Google's strategy is to win the future. Their battlegrounds are artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics, and containerization with Kubernetes. Google invented Kubernetes, so their Google Kubernetes Engine, or GKE, is considered by many to be the gold standard. Their data analytics tool, BigQuery, is a monster. And their AI and ML platforms like Vertex AI and TensorFlow are cutting edge. So the jobs in the Google Cloud ecosystem are concentrated in these forward-looking areas. You'll find GCP roles at high-growth tech startups, digital native companies, media and entertainment giants, and the R&D departments of innovative enterprises. Your job won't be migrating a 20-year-old database. It will be building a real-time data pipeline to analyze petabytes of user data. It will be deploying a containerized microservices application that can scale to millions of users globally. It will be training a machine learning model to predict customer behavior. The skills required are a world apart from OCI. They're looking for Python and Go developers. They want experts in data science, MLOps, and site reliability engineering. The work is dynamic, exciting, and puts you on the bleeding edge of technology. You are building, creating, and innovating. The potential for groundbreaking work is immense. The trade-off? The startup world is volatile. The pressure to innovate is constant. Job security might be tied to the next round of venture capital funding, or whether your new product finds market fit. You're an explorer on a thrilling, but potentially perilous expedition. So, where in the United States are these fortresses and new cities actually being built? The geographic distribution of these jobs tells a fascinating story. Oracle, with its enterprise focus, has a surprisingly wide footprint. Yes, there's a massive hub in Austin, Texas, their corporate headquarters. But you'll also find a high concentration of OCI jobs in Northern Virginia, the data center capital of the world. You'll see them in Chicago, Dallas, and Atlanta, all major corporate hubs. Oracle's jobs follow the Fortune 500 headquarters. They are embedded in the traditional economic power centers of America. Google Cloud's map looks very different. It is intensely concentrated in the epicenters of tech innovation. The San Francisco Bay Area is ground zero. You cannot throw a rock in Silicon Valley without hitting a company hiring for GCP skills. The next major hubs are Seattle and New York City, followed by places like Boston and Los Angeles. Google's jobs follow the venture capital money. They are clustered where the startup ecosystem is most vibrant. This geographical split has profound implications for your career. If you live in the Midwest and want a top-tier cloud job without relocating, your odds are frankly better targeting an OCI role at a local manufacturing or insurance giant. If you're in a major tech hub and want to be at the forefront of AI development, the GCP ecosystem is practically begging for your talent. But here's the most critical piece of the puzzle, the part most people miss. A huge percentage of the best jobs for both clouds are never even posted publicly. They exist in a hidden job market. For Oracle, this market lives inside the major global system integrators and consulting firms. Companies like Accenture, Deloitte, and Infosys have massive OCI practices. They get the big migration contracts and they hire armies of consultants to do the work. Getting a job at one of these firms is a backdoor into the most lucrative OCI projects in the country. For Google, the hidden job market is all about networking and reputation. It's about being active in the Kubernetes and data science communities. It's about contributing to open source projects. The best startup roles are filled through referrals. A top engineer at one startup moves to another and brings their best people with them. Headhunters who specialize in placing talent at venture-backed companies are constantly scouring LinkedIn and GitHub for people with proven GCP skills. To get these jobs, you have to be part of the conversation. So we have two completely different worlds. One is a world of stable, secure, enterprise-focused roles, reinforcing the digital infrastructure of corporate America. The other is a dynamic, innovative, startup-focused world, building the technology of the future. One requires deep knowledge of a legacy ecosystem. The other requires mastery of cutting-edge tools. Knowing this, the question changes. It's no longer just which cloud is better, it's which cloud is better for me. And a huge part of that answer comes down to the official stamp of approval in this industry, certifications. How do the certifications for OCI and GCP stack up? Which ones do hiring managers in the US actually respect? Is one a better investment of your time and money to actually get your foot in the door to one of these worlds? That's where we go next. Let's break this down, because your choice of certification is not just a line item on your resume. It's a strategic signal to the US job market. It tells a story about who you are, what problems you can solve, and where you want to go. Think of it like choosing a college major. You can major in something trendy and exciting, or you can major in something deeply established that powers the world's most critical industries. Both can lead to incredible careers, but they open very different doors. First, let's talk about Google Cloud. GCP certifications carry a certain prestige in the tech community. especially within the startup scene and companies that pride themselves on being on the cutting edge. When a hiring manager in Silicon Valley or Austin sees Google Cloud Certified Professional Cloud Architect on a resume, a few things immediately come to mind: Kubernetes, BigQuery, AI or ML, and modern container-based architectures. Google's brand is synonymous with innovation, data, and massive scale. Their certifications reflect that. The journey into GCP usually starts with the Associate Cloud Engineer. This is the foundational cert, the one that says, "I understand the basics. I can deploy an application, monitor operations, and manage enterprise solutions on Google Cloud." It's a highly respected entry point. It's practical, it's hands-on, and it proves you can do more than just talk about the cloud, you can actually build on it. US companies value this because it's a direct indicator of day one productivity. But the real heavyweight, the one that turns heads, is the professional cloud architect. This isn't just about knowing services. It's about design, planning, and architecting robust, secure, and scalable solutions. It's a difficult exam. It's scenario-based. It forces you to think like a seasoned consultant. Passing it sends a clear message: I don't just know the tools. I know how to solve complex business problems with them. For a tech company building the next big thing on GCP, this certification is often a non-negotiable requirement for senior roles. They need people who can think strategically about their infrastructure, and this cert is the best proof you can provide. Now let's pivot to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. The perception here is different, but in many ways just as powerful. If GCP is the hot new startup, OCI is the Fortune 500 company that's been running the global economy for decades. OCI certifications signal a different kind of expertise. When a hiring manager at a major bank, a national retailer, or a federal agency sees an OCI certification, they think mission-critical workloads, enterprise-grade databases, security, and hybrid cloud. Oracle's strategy with certifications has been incredibly aggressive and, frankly, brilliant for anyone looking to break in. They've made many of their foundational and associate-level certifications free to take. Let me repeat that: free. This has lowered the barrier to entry to almost zero. The OCI Foundations Associate is the first step, giving you a broad overview of the OCI ecosystem. But the real goal for most is the OCI Architect Associate, and then the pinnacle, the OCI Architect Professional. This professional-level certification is Oracle's answer to the GCP Architect. It proves you can design and implement a full-stack OCI solution. But here's the critical difference. It also implies you understand the world that Oracle's biggest customers live in. A world of Oracle databases, of Exadata, of PeopleSoft and eBusiness Suite. These are multi-million-dollar systems that can't afford a second of downtime. An OCI certification tells a hiring manager at one of these companies, "I get it. I understand your legacy, and I know how to bring it safely and effectively into the future with the cloud." It's a message of stability and deep enterprise knowledge. So, which one do hiring managers in the US actually respect more? This is the wrong question. The right question is, which hiring manager are you trying to impress? Let's paint a picture. Imagine a hiring manager in Austin, Texas, for a fast-growing AI company. Their entire platform is built on Google Kubernetes engine, they process petabytes of data with BigQuery, and they train their models using Vertex AI. They have two resumes on their desk. One has the OCI Architect Professional Cert. The other has the GCP Professional Cloud Architect Cert. Who do you think gets the interview? It's not even a contest. The GCP candidate speaks their language. The OCI cert, while respectable, is like being fluent in a language they don't speak in their office. It's interesting, but not useful for the job at hand. Now let's fly to New York City. A hiring manager at a massive, global investment bank is looking for a cloud architect. For 30 years, their most critical trading and risk management systems have run on Oracle databases. They are now undertaking a massive multi-billion-dollar migration to OCI to leverage things like Autonomous Database and Exadata Cloud Service. They have the same two resumes. The candidate with the GCP cert is impressive. It shows they understand modern cloud principles. But the candidate with the OCI Architect Professional certification? That person is a godsend. They understand the specific high-stakes world this bank lives in. They know the technology that literally cannot fail. In this scenario, the OCI cert isn't just a tiebreaker. It's the key that unlocks the door. The GCP cert might get you an interview for a different, less critical role, but the OCI cert gets you a seat at the main table. So, what about the investment of your time and money? Google's exams will cost you. The associate is around $125. and the professional exams are $200. It's a real investment, and you need to be sure you're targeting the right companies to see a return. Oracle's free certification model changes the game. The financial risk is gone. You can get an OCI Foundation's Associate Certification this weekend for the cost of your time and an internet connection. This is an incredible opportunity. It allows you to test the waters of the Oracle ecosystem without spending a dime. And because so many large US enterprises are scrambling for OCI talent, even these free foundational certifications can be enough to get your foot in the door for a junior role or a migration project. The return on investment is quite literally infinite. But here's the pro move. The strategy that the top 1% of cloud professionals in the US are starting to use. They don't see it as Oracle versus Google. They see it as Oracle and Google. They understand that the future is multi-cloud. The most valuable professional isn't the one who is a zealot for one platform, but the one who can act as a bridge between them. Imagine a candidate who has both the GCP Professional Cloud Architect and the OCI Architect Professional certifications. What story does that tell a hiring manager? Says you are a true architect. You can help that Austin startup connect to a legacy Oracle database for a new enterprise client. You can help that New York bank leverage Google's AI tools to analyze data sitting in their OCI environment. You become a unicorn. You are no longer just a cloud engineer. You are a business-level translator, a problem solver who can navigate the two most powerful ecosystems in technology. The investment in getting both is significant, but the career opportunities it unlocks are unparalleled. You're not just qualified for a job, you're qualified for an entire industry. So the certifications aren't just badges. They are keys to specific kingdoms. GCP is the key to the kingdom of modern data-driven, cloud-native innovation. OCI is the key to the kingdom of powerful, mission-critical enterprise computing that runs the world's economy. The first step is deciding which kingdom you want to enter first. But before you can earn any of these certifications, you have to hit the books. You have to study. And the learning journey for OCI and GCP are surprisingly different. One is a steep, unforgiving climb that rewards deep, hands-on experience. The other is a more structured, accessible path, but with its own hidden complexities. How difficult are these exams, really? What does it take to pass them? And which platform offers a better, more supportive learning experience for someone starting out? That's the critical next piece of the puzzle. Let's break down the journey from zero to certified hero on both platforms. Imagine you're standing at the base of two different mountains. One looks like a modern, well-marked hiking trail at a national park. The other looks like a rugged, corporate-built ascent to a private lodge. Both will get you to the top, but the experience, the tools, and the philosophy behind the climb are fundamentally different. Let's start with Google Cloud. Google's approach to learning is steeped in its own culture. It's developer-centric, hands-on, and feels like a massive open-source university. Their core belief is that you learn by doing. And their crown jewel for this is a platform called Google Cloud Skills Boost, which many old-timers will still call by its original name, Quick Labs. This isn't just a collection of videos and PDFs. Quick Labs is your personal temporary key to the entire Google Cloud kingdom. Here's how it works. You start a lab, and in seconds it spins up a real live Google Cloud environment with all the services you need. It gives you a temporary username and password, and you log into the actual GCP console. This is not a simulation. It's the real deal. You're working with real virtual machines, real storage buckets, real Kubernetes clusters. The platform then gives you a set of step-by-step instructions. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to build, configure, or troubleshoot something specific. The system watches you, and when you complete the task correctly, it gives you a green check mark. It's an incredibly satisfying feedback loop. It's like having a patient, expert guide sitting next to you, letting you drive, but making sure you don't crash the car. This hands-on approach is Google's superpower in the training space. It demystifies the cloud by putting it directly at your fingertips. You're not just learning about a virtual machine, you are actively creating one, connecting to it, and running a command. That muscle memory is invaluable. When it comes to certification, the most common starting point is the Associate Cloud Engineer, or ACE. This exam is a direct reflection of Google's hands-on philosophy. It is not a test of memorization. You won't pass by cramming definitions the night before. The questions are almost entirely scenario-based. They'll present you with a problem a junior cloud engineer would realistically face in a US-based tech company. Something like, your development team needs to deploy a new containerized application with minimal management overhead. Which service should you choose and how would you configure the basic permissions? The exam tests your ability to reason, to choose the right tool for the job, and to understand the implications of your choices. It costs $125, and it's a rigorous, fair test of practical skills. The entire Google learning path feels cohesive. The hands-on labs directly prepare you for the types of problems you'll see on the exam, which in turn prepare you for the real-world tasks you'll get on the job. Now let's pivot to the other mountain, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. For years, Oracle's training had a reputation for being traditional, expensive, and locked behind the kind of corporate paywalls you'd expect from a company of its stature. Getting Oracle certified was a serious investment, often paid for by large companies for their employees. But then, in a move that sent shockwaves through the industry, Oracle flipped the entire model on its head. They decided to give it all away for free. Let me repeat that, because it's the single most disruptive move in cloud training in the last 5 years. Oracle made its entire OCI training catalog, across all levels, from foundational to professional specializations, completely free for anyone to access through Oracle University. We're talking hundreds of hours of high-quality video courses, learning paths, and even hands-on labs. And it didn't stop there. They launched campaigns like the Race to Certification, where for extended periods they also offered the certification exams, the actual proctored exams, for free. This wasn't a limited-time gimmick. It's become a core part of their strategy to attract talent and grow their ecosystem. For someone in the US looking to upskill without breaking the bank, this is an absolute game-changer. The financial barrier to entry for learning Oracle Cloud is zero. You can go from knowing nothing to being a certified OCI Foundations Associate, or even an OCI Architect Associate without spending a single dollar. The learning path is more structured and video-based than Google's. Feels more like a traditional online course. You follow a curriculum, watch expert instructors, and take practice quizzes. While they do have hands-on labs, the emphasis is slightly more on understanding the architecture, the specific benefits of Oracle services, and how they fit into the enterprise landscape. The entry-level certification, the OCI Foundations Associate, is a great starting point. It's broader and perhaps a bit more definition-focused than Google's ACE. It ensures you understand Oracle's core infrastructure, its security model, its pricing, and its key differentiators, like the autonomous database. It's less about asking you to solve a novel problem on the fly and more about verifying that you have a solid, comprehensive understanding of the platform's capabilities. It's the perfect credential to prove to a hiring manager at a large corporation that you speak their language. So, how do we compare these two experiences? Google offers a guided, interactive discovery. It's like learning to cook by being thrown into a 5-star kitchen with a master chef. It can be intense, but you learn the feel of the tools incredibly quickly. The cost is manageable, but it's not free. Oracle, on the other hand, offers a comprehensive, university-style education completely on the house. It's like being given the keys to a massive library and a full scholarship. You have to be more self-motivated to practice in the labs, but the sheer volume and quality of the free material is staggering. Which is harder? That's the wrong question. They test different things. The Google ACE exam is harder if you're not good at applying concepts to new scenarios under pressure. The Oracle exams might be harder if you're not used to absorbing a large amount of detailed, platform-specific information. The real question is, which learning style suits you? Do you learn by tinkering and breaking things in a digital sandbox? Or do you learn by methodically building a knowledge base from the ground up? From a US career perspective, this distinction is critical. Acing the Google ACE exam signals to startups and modern tech companies that you're a hands-on problem solver, ready to contribute to a fast-moving team. It shows you can think on your feet. Earning an Oracle certification, especially when you can do it for free, is an incredibly strategic move. It shows enterprise companies, the banks, the retailers, the healthcare giants, that you are serious about understanding the kind of robust, secure, and high-performance infrastructure their business depends on. It's a low-risk, high-reward way to get a credential that is highly valued in the most stable and lucrative sectors of the American economy. So you've climbed the mountain. You've passed the exams. You have the certificate in your hand, a shiny new badge on your LinkedIn profile. Now what? What does the landscape actually look like from the top? Getting certified is one thing, but landing the job and building a career is another entirely. What are the day-to-day realities of working as a Google Cloud engineer versus an Oracle Cloud specialist in the United States? Where are the jobs, who is hiring, and most importantly, what can you expect to earn? That's where the rubber truly meets the road. Let's break this down because this is where theory gets real. We're talking about your career, your bank account, and your future. Forget the marketing slides for a second. Let's look at the actual job market in the United States right now. First, let's paint a picture of the Google Cloud professional. Think of the companies that are built on data, speed, and massive scale. We're talking about the tech darlings of Silicon Valley, the disruptive fintech startups in New York, the sprawling e-commerce platforms that know what you want to buy before you do. Companies like Spotify, Twitter, or X, and PayPal have been known to leverage Google Cloud for its powerful data analytics and machine learning capabilities. Retail giants like Target and the Home Depot use it to power their digital experiences. Essentially, if a company's business model is digital-first, data-driven, and obsessed with innovation, there's a very high chance Google Cloud is in their tech stack. So what jobs are these companies hiring for? The titles are a direct reflection of this modern, developer-centric world. You'll see postings for Cloud Engineer, DevOps Engineer, Site Reliability Engineer or SRE, Cloud Data Engineer, and of course, Cloud Architect. The common thread here is automation, infrastructure as code, and a deep understanding of containerization, especially Kubernetes. A Google Cloud professional is often expected to be more than just an infrastructure person. They're a developer's best friend, building the automated pipelines and scalable platforms that allow software to be shipped faster and more reliably. They live in tools like Terraform, Ansible, and spend their days wrestling with YAML files to orchestrate complex microservices architectures. Geographically, the hotspots are exactly where you'd expect: the San Francisco Bay Area, Seattle, Austin, New York City, and Boston. These are the epicenters of tech innovation in the US. However, the rise of remote work has been a game changer. A company headquartered in Austin might now hire the best DevOps engineer from a small town in Ohio. The talent pool is now national, which is great for opportunity but also ratchets up the competition. And now the question everyone wants answered: the money. What can you actually earn? For a junior-level cloud engineer role, someone with a certification or two, and maybe a year of experience, you're looking at a starting salary in the range of $90,000 to $120,000 in a major tech hub. As you move into a mid-level role with 3 to 5 years of experience, that number jumps significantly, often to the $140,000 to $180,000 range. Now, for a senior or principal-level cloud architect or a specialized machine learning engineer on GCP, the sky is the limit. Base salaries can easily cross the $200,000 mark, and when you factor in stock options or RSUs and annual bonuses, total compensation packages of $300,000 to $400,000 or even more are not uncommon at top-tier tech companies. It's a highly competitive, high-reward environment. Now let's shift gears and look at the world of the Oracle Cloud professional. It's a different universe but no less lucrative. The companies hiring for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI, skills are often the bedrock of the American economy. Think Fortune 500. We're talking about the massive, established enterprises. Major banks, insurance companies, national retailers, telecommunications giants, and government agencies. Companies like AT&T, Verizon, and major financial institutions have decades-long relationships with Oracle. Their most critical systems, the ones that manage financial records, supply chains, and HR data for hundreds of thousands of employees, have been running on Oracle databases for years. For these companies, moving to the cloud isn't a cool experiment. It's a mission-critical, high-stakes migration of the company's crown jewels. Their primary goal is security, reliability, and leveraging their existing investment in Oracle technology. The job titles reflect this enterprise focus. You'll see Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Architect, Oracle Cloud ERP Consultant, Oracle Cloud HCM Specialist, and Cloud Database Administrator. Notice the difference. The roles are often tied to specific, high-value Oracle applications like their enterprise resource planning or human capital management software. The job isn't just about spinning up virtual machines. It's about understanding complex business processes and migrating massive, monolithic Oracle databases to the cloud without a single second of downtime. This requires a deep, specialized knowledge of the Oracle ecosystem that has been built over decades. These professionals are the surgeons of the IT world, performing digital heart transplants on multi-billion-dollar companies. Where are these jobs located? They're much more geographically distributed than the concentrated tech hubs of GCP. You'll find them wherever major corporate headquarters are located. Think Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, Charlotte, and the Northern Virginia corridor near Washington, D.C. for government and contractor roles. These are stable, corporate environments, and while remote work is also prevalent, The culture often involves closer collaboration with established business units. So, what about the compensation for an Oracle Cloud specialist? It's structured a bit differently. While the absolute peak might not reach the same dizzying heights of a top AI engineer at Google, the salary floor is incredibly high and the career path is exceptionally stable. An Oracle Cloud specialist with a few years of experience, particularly in migrating databases or implementing ERP systems, can easily command a salary of $120,000 to $160,000. Senior OCI architects and experienced ERP implementation consultants are in huge demand, with salaries often pushing north of $190,000 to $250,000. The compensation here is often more heavily weighted towards a high base salary and significant annual performance bonuses, rather than the lottery ticket potential of tech startup stock options. The value proposition is different. It's about deep expertise, immense responsibility, and becoming an indispensable asset to a large, stable corporation. So let's put it all on the table. When you search for jobs, you will almost certainly see more listings containing the phrase Google Cloud than Oracle Cloud. But this is a classic case of quantity versus quality, or more accurately, breadth versus depth. The GCP job market is broader, with more entry points, especially for those with a general software development or DevOps background. The competition, however, is fierce, drawing from a massive pool of talented engineers across the country. The OCI job market is narrower and more specialized. It's a niche, but a critically important and high-value one. The pool of candidates with 10+ years of Oracle database experience, who also understand modern cloud architecture, is dramatically smaller. This creates a supply and demand imbalance that works heavily in the favor of those who have the skills. It's the difference between being a general practitioner and a neurosurgeon. Both are doctors, both are vital, but their career paths, patient populations, and skill sets are fundamentally different. Working with Google Cloud often means you're building the future, creating new applications from scratch on a platform designed for agility and innovation. Working with Oracle Cloud often means you're safeguarding the present, migrating and modernizing the core systems that power the world's largest businesses. One is a sprint, the other a marathon. Both lead to incredible career destinations. So we've seen the jobs, the companies, and the money. The landscape is clear. But a map is useless if you don't know how to read it. How do you actually get these high-paying jobs? What are the specific tangible skills and, most importantly, the certifications that hiring managers in the US are desperate to see on a resume? That is the blueprint we are laying out next. Let's break down that blueprint, starting with the 800-pound gorilla of modern tech, Google Cloud Platform. If you want to build a career on GCP in the United States, your journey starts with one certification: the Associate Cloud Engineer, or ACE. Think of this as your passport. It's not the final destination, but without it, you're not getting past the first checkpoint. The ACE proves you speak the language of GCP. You understand the fundamental building blocks: compute engine for virtual machines, cloud storage for storage, virtual private clouds for networking, and identity and access management for security. Passing this tells a US hiring manager that you won't be completely lost on day one. It says you can deploy an application, monitor its operations, and manage enterprise solutions. It's the foundational layer upon which every other high-paying skill is built. But the associate level is just the beginning. The real money, the career-defining roles, they live at the professional level. And the king of them all is the professional cloud architect. This is the certification that separates the practitioners from the visionaries. It's not just about knowing what a service does. It's about knowing why and when to use it to solve complex business problems. You're not just spinning up a virtual machine. You're designing a multi-region, highly available, fault-tolerant system for a global e-commerce platform. You're considering billing implications, compliance requirements, and security postures. When a recruiter at a major US tech firm sees GCP Professional Cloud Architect on your resume, their brain immediately translates that to this person can be trusted with our multi-million-dollar infrastructure. It is, without a doubt, one of the most respected and lucrative certifications in the entire cloud industry. Now let's talk about the modern gold rush: data. Every company is drowning in it, and they will pay a fortune to anyone who can turn that data into insight. This is where the Professional Data Engineer certification comes in. This is your ticket to the big data game. It proves you've mastered tools like BigQuery, Google's serverless data warehouse that can query terabytes of data in seconds. It proves you can build robust data pipelines with Dataflow, ingest real-time streams with pub/sub, and orchestrate it all. If you have this certification, you're telling companies like Netflix, Spotify, or any major bank that you can build the systems that power their recommendation engines, their fraud detection algorithms, and their business intelligence dashboards. The demand for these skills in the US is astronomical and shows no signs of slowing down. Then you have the third pillar of the GCP elite, the professional cloud DevOps engineer. In today's world, the old wall between developers who write code and operations teams who deploy it has been torn down. The DevOps role is about automating that entire lifecycle. This certification is proof that you are a master of efficiency. You can build continuous integration and continuous delivery, CI/CD pipelines using tools like Cloud Build and Cloud Deploy. You are an expert in containerization and orchestration, specifically with Google Kubernetes Engine or GKE, which is the industry standard. A DevOps engineer with this certification is the engine that makes a modern tech company run faster, more reliably, and more efficiently. They are force multipliers, and they are compensated accordingly. So for Google Cloud, the path is clear. Start with the associate cloud engineer to build your foundation. Then specialize. Aim for architect for infrastructure design, data engineer for the world of big data, or DevOps engineer for automation and deployment. Each of these professional certs is a key that unlocks a specific set of high-paying jobs in the US market. Now let's pivot to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure (OCI). The strategy here is different, more focused, and for the right person, potentially even more lucrative. Your starting point is the OCI Foundations Associate. The best part? Oracle often makes the training and the exam for this certification completely free. This is a massive advantage. It's a no-risk way to prove you understand OCI's core concepts, its regions and availability domains, its bare metal compute offerings, and its security-first design. It gets your foot in the door of the Oracle ecosystem. From there, the main path for most is the OCI Architect. It's a two-step process. First, you earn the OCI Architect Associate, which is the hands-on practical certification. Then, you level up to the OCI Architect Professional. This professional level cert is OCI's direct equivalent to the GCP Architect. It validates your ability to design and implement large-scale, enterprise-grade solutions on Oracle's cloud. But here's the critical difference. A huge part of being an OCI architect revolves around migration, specifically migrating massive mission-critical Oracle databases and applications like Oracle E-Business Suite, PeopleSoft or JD Edwards, from on-premise data centers to the cloud. Thousands of US companies, from Wall Street banks to national retailers, have built their empires on these Oracle systems for decades. They are desperate to modernize, and they will pay a premium for architects who can guide that journey safely. But this is where OCI's secret weapon comes into play. If you have a background in databases, listen closely because this is your golden ticket. Oracle offers a suite of certifications that are arguably some of the most valuable, niche credentials in the entire tech industry. I'm talking about the OCI Database Migration and Integration Professional. Let me be crystal clear. This is not a generalist certification. This is for specialists. This proves you can take a company's most precious asset, its decades-old, multi-terabyte Oracle database, and move it to the cloud without losing a single transaction. You understand the tools, the techniques, and the pitfalls. The number of people in the US with this specific high-stakes skill set is tiny compared to the demand. It's a classic supply and demand problem, and if you have the supply, you can name your price. And it gets even better. The pinnacle of the OCI database track is the OCI Autonomous Database Specialist. The Autonomous Database is Oracle's crown jewel. It's a database that uses machine learning to automate everything. It patches, tunes, and secures itself without human intervention. It is a technological marvel. For a company, this means lower costs, better performance, and drastically improved security. Being a certified specialist in this technology puts you at the absolute cutting edge of database management. You're not just a database administrator anymore. You are a manager of an automated fleet of self-driving data platforms. The skills gap here is enormous. Companies are adopting this technology faster than they can find people to manage it, creating a massive opportunity for those who get certified. So the OCI blueprint is more targeted. You start with the free Foundations cert. You build your core cloud skills with the Architect Associate and Professional certs, with a heavy emphasis on enterprise migration. But if you want to tap into OCI's unique advantage in the US job market, you specialize in the database. The database migration and autonomous database certifications are your path to becoming an indispensable, highly paid expert in a field where true expertise is rare and incredibly valuable. Ultimately, the right path depends on your background. GCP offers a broader, more general-purpose set of skills tailored to cloud-native companies, startups, and data science teams. OCI offers a more specialized path, laser-focused on the massive existing market of enterprise Oracle customers. Both can lead to an incredible career. The question is no longer just what to learn, but how to learn it. Which platform provides the better training materials, the more supportive community, and the clearest path to mastering these skills? Let's compare the learning ecosystems. When you're committing to a cloud platform, you're not just learning a set of services, you're investing hundreds, maybe even thousands of hours of your life. It's a monumental commitment. So the quality of the educational journey isn't a small detail. It's everything. Let's break down who helps you climb the mountain better. Google Cloud or Oracle Cloud. We'll look at 3 critical areas: the training materials themselves, the value of their certifications in the US job market, and the strength of the community that has your back when you get stuck. First, let's talk about the raw training resources. Google Cloud has long been a gold standard here. Their primary learning platform, Google Cloud Skills Boost, is built on the legacy of Quick Labs, and it shows. Their philosophy is simple: you learn by doing. You're not just watching a video of someone else configuring a virtual machine. You are dropped into a temporary, real-life Google Cloud environment with a specific task to complete. It's hands-on, it's interactive, and it's incredibly effective at building muscle memory. This approach is perfect for the modern developer who learns by tinkering and breaking things. Furthermore, Google has integrated its training into the wider tech education ecosystem. You'll find official Google Cloud courses on Coursera, Pluralsight, and Udemy. Their documentation is legendary. It's clean, searchable, and filled with code examples. When you're stuck on an API call at 2 in the morning, chances are Google's docs will have the clear, concise answer you need. The downside: while there's a lot of free content, the premium, guided learning paths and the credits needed for those extensive hands-on labs often sit behind a subscription paywall. It's a premium experience, and it often comes with a premium price tag. Now let's turn to Oracle. And here the story gets incredibly interesting. For years, Oracle was seen as the old guard, powerful, but with a traditional and often expensive approach to training. Then they decided to completely flip the script. Oracle drew a line in the sand and made a bold, aggressive move. They made their entire OCI training catalog and their certification program free. Let me repeat that because it's a game changer. An entire library of expert-led courses, from foundational concepts to advanced architecture, available at no cost. This wasn't a limited-time gimmick. It has become a core part of their strategy to win over the next generation of cloud talent. They are essentially paying for your education to get you into their ecosystem. This move single-handedly demolished the biggest barrier to entry for many aspiring cloud professionals: cost. Their learning paths are well-structured, guiding you from a complete beginner to being ready for a professional-level certification exam. And when you combine this with the OCI Always Free tier, which is one of the most generous in the industry, you have a powerful combination. You can learn the theory for free, and then practice on a genuinely useful cloud environment also for free. The knock against Oracle used to be that their materials felt a bit more corporate and less developer cool than Google's. But they are innovating fast, adding more hands-on labs and modernizing their content to compete head-on. So for training, it's a clash of philosophies. Google offers a polished, deeply integrated, lab-centric experience that many developers love, but it will likely cost you. Oracle offers a massive, high-quality library of content with a clear path to certification for the unbeatable price of $0. For someone on a budget or just trying to get their foot in the door, the value proposition from Oracle is almost impossible to ignore. Next, let's talk certifications. In the US tech market, a certification is your badge of honor. It's a standardized signal to recruiters and hiring managers that you have a verified level of expertise. But not all badges are created equal. Google Cloud certifications, like the Professional Cloud Architect, are widely considered to be the PhDs of the cloud world. They are tough. They are scenario-based. You cannot pass them by simply memorizing facts from a study guide. You have to deeply understand how to apply Google's services to solve complex business problems. Earning a GCP certification sends a powerful message. It says you understand cloud-native principles, you can work with cutting-edge tech like Kubernetes and BigQuery, and you have the problem-solving skills to prove it. It's a mark of prestige that carries significant weight, especially in tech-forward companies and startups. Oracle's certifications tell a different, but equally powerful story. As OCI has grown, the value of its certifications has skyrocketed. An OCI Architect professional certification on your resume signals something very specific to a massive segment of the US economy. It says you understand the world of enterprise IT. It says you know how to handle mission-critical databases, high-performance computing, and the complex challenge of migrating legacy systems that run the world's financial, retail, and logistics networks. This is the language that Fortune 500 companies understand. For a long time, the barrier was the cost of training and exams. But with Oracle's free training and frequent promotions for free certification exams, that barrier is gone. This has led to an explosion in the number of OCI-certified professionals. Some might argue this devalues the certification, but the market reality is different. It's creating a groundswell of talent that is making it easier for large companies to adopt and staff OCI projects, which in turn increases the demand for those certified skills. For a job seeker, an OCI certification can be a golden ticket into the lucrative world of enterprise cloud. So which is better? The GCP certification is your key to the cloud-native, startup, and digital-first world. The OCI certification is your key to the established, high-stakes enterprise world. Your career goals should dictate which key you want to have in your pocket. Finally, no one learns in a vacuum. You need a community. When you hit a wall, you need to know where to turn. This is where Google has a massive organic advantage. The GCP community is vast, vibrant, and everywhere. It lives on Stack Overflow, on Reddit, in thousands of blog posts, and on countless YouTube channels. There are active Google developer groups in almost every major US city, hosting meetups and study sessions. It's a decentralized, developer-driven community that feels open and accessible. If you have a problem, chances are someone has already solved it and written a blog post about it. Oracle's community is different. It's historically been more centralized and formal, centered around its own official forums like the Oracle Cloud Customer Connect. The good news is these forums are packed with incredibly smart, experienced professionals, people who have been running Oracle databases for decades and now manage sprawling cloud infrastructures. The depth of expertise is staggering. If you have a highly technical, enterprise-grade problem, this is where you'll find the experts. Oracle knows it needs to foster a broader, more open community, and they're making a concerted effort. They're becoming more active on social media, creating more developer-focused content, and showing up at the same conferences as their competitors. It's a work in progress, but the momentum is undeniable. For now, Google's community feels more approachable for the solo developer, while Oracle's community offers incredible depth for those willing to engage in its more formal channels. So, when you look at the entire learning ecosystem, there's no simple winner. Google provides a world-class, hands-on learning experience with prestigious certifications, backed by a massive grassroots community. It's the path of the cloud-native artisan. Oracle, on the other hand, has made a brilliant strategic move, offering an immense wealth of knowledge for free, providing a direct and affordable path to a certification that is your passport into the enterprise world, supported by a community of seasoned experts. It's the path of the enterprise pragmatist. You've chosen your path, you've acquired the skills, you've earned the certification. But what does that actually mean for your bank account? Which cloud platform is more likely to land you that six-figure plus salary and provide a more lucrative long-term career in the United States? In the next part, we're putting the ecosystems aside and diving deep into the most important numbers: the jobs, the salaries, and the money. Alright, let's cut right to the chase. The question on everyone's mind is simple. Where is the money? Where are the jobs? Let's peel back the marketing hype and look at the raw, unfiltered data from the United States job market. This is where the rubber meets the road. First, let's talk volume. If your career strategy is a numbers game, the more openings, the better your chances. Then Google Cloud Platform appears to be the undisputed champion at first glance. Pull up LinkedIn or Indeed right now and search for Google Cloud or GCP roles in the US. You'll be flooded with results. We're talking tens of thousands of openings on any given day. The numbers fluctuate, but it's consistently in the 60,000 to 80,000 range for roles that mention GCP as a required or desired skill. These jobs span the entire spectrum: cloud engineers, data scientists, machine learning specialists, DevOps engineers, and solutions architects. They're at hot tech startups in Austin, established software companies in Silicon Valley, and digital native businesses across the country. The demand is massive, it's broad, and it's highly visible. Now let's run the same search for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. The picture changes dramatically. You're not going to see 70,000 jobs. you're going to see a number closer to 10,000, maybe 15,000 on a good day. It's a significantly smaller pool of publicly listed jobs. And if you're just looking at that top-line number, you might think, case closed. GCP is the obvious choice. But that is a dangerously superficial analysis. It's like comparing the number of restaurants in New York City to the number of 3 Michelin star restaurants. The real story isn't in the quantity, it's in the quality and the competition. This is the most critical concept to understand: the supply and demand of talent. Google has done an absolutely masterful job of marketing and democratizing their certifications. They've made it easy, accessible, and relatively cheap for anyone to become Google Cloud certified. This has created an enormous pool of talent, millions of certified individuals worldwide. So while there are 70,000 jobs, you are competing with a vast ocean of other candidates who have the exact same paper qualifications as you. It's a red ocean full of competition. Oracle, on the other hand, has a much smaller talent pool. For decades, the path to becoming an Oracle expert was long, difficult, and expensive. It was a specialized guild. While OCI certifications are more accessible now, that legacy culture persists. There are simply fewer people who have deep, authentic Oracle skills. So when you see those 15,000 OCI jobs, you're competing against a far smaller, more specialized group of people. It's a blue ocean. Your resume doesn't just get lost in a stack of 1,000 others. For specialized OCI roles, a hiring manager might only get a handful of truly qualified applicants. In the world of career hunting, less competition for a high-paying job is pure gold. Now let's talk about the money itself. What are the salaries actually looking like? According to data aggregated from sites like Glassdoor and Levels.fyi, the average base salary for a mid-level cloud engineer in the United States is remarkably similar for both platforms. For a GCP cloud engineer, you're looking at a range of about $130,000 to $160,000. For an OCI cloud engineer, the range is nearly identical, perhaps slightly lower on average at $125,000 to $155,000. The same holds true for solutions architects. A GCP solutions architect averages around $175,000, while an OCI solutions architect is right there with them, averaging around $170,000. So, on the surface it looks like a tie. But again, the averages are dangerously misleading. The real salary story is in the specialization and the type of company that's hiring. The big money in GCP is often found in roles that leverage its cutting-edge services, particularly AI, machine learning, and big data. If you are a specialist in BigQuery, Vertex AI, and can build sophisticated data pipelines for a tech company or a high-growth startup, your salary can skyrocket well past the $200,000 mark. The ceiling is incredibly high, but it requires you to be at the bleeding edge of technology in a high-stakes, high-pressure environment. The hidden salary advantage for Oracle Cloud is what I call the legacy premium. This is the secret weapon of the OCI professional. Remember all those Fortune 500 companies, the banks, the insurance giants, the massive retailers that have run their entire business on Oracle databases for the last 30 years? They are now facing immense pressure to move to the cloud. And their safest, most logical first step is to move their Oracle workloads to Oracle's own cloud, OCI. These companies are not tech startups. They are conservative, multi-billion-dollar enterprises. The cost of a failed migration of their core financial system or their global supply chain database going down is not millions but billions of dollars. They are desperately searching for professionals who understand both the old world of on-premise Oracle and the new world of OCI. And they are willing to pay an enormous premium for that expertise. This is where the OCI salaries can quietly eclipse the GCP averages. An experienced Oracle database administrator who gets OCI certified and can lead a migration project isn't just a cloud engineer. They are a business continuity savior. Their salaries don't just hit $170,000. They start there and can easily climb to $220,000, $250,000, or even higher with consulting and contract roles. The demand for this specific skill set is intense, and the supply of talent is critically low. These companies aren't just paying for your technical skills. They are paying for risk mitigation. They are paying for insurance in the form of your expertise. This brings us to the final and perhaps most important piece of the puzzle: long-term career stability and trajectory. Think of it like investing. A career in Google Cloud is like investing in a high-growth tech stock. The potential for explosive growth is immense. You get to work on the latest and greatest technology, the kind of stuff that generates headlines. The upside is huge. However, it's also more volatile. The hot AI service of today could be old news in 3 years. Startups that hire dozens of GCP engineers can go bust. You are constantly required to learn the next new thing just to stay relevant. It's an exciting but potentially exhausting race. A career in Oracle Cloud is like investing in a blue-chip dividend stock. It's not as flashy. It's not going to be the talk of every tech conference. But it is built on the bedrock of the global economy. The systems you manage on OCI are not experimental projects. They are the mission-critical, can-never-fail applications that process payroll, manage financial ledgers, and run global manufacturing lines. This provides a level of career security that is difficult to overstate, especially in the US economy. When an economic downturn hits, what gets cut first? The budget for that experimental machine learning model on GCP. The nice-to-have projects. But the Oracle e-business suite running on OCI that manages the company's entire financials? That is the last thing to ever get turned off. The person who manages that system has a job that is as close to recession-proof as you can get in the tech industry. You are not a cost center. You are a core operational requirement. So we have two very different paths to a six-figure salary. Google Cloud offers a wider path with more entry points, fueled by the explosive growth of data and AI. But it comes with fierce competition. Oracle Cloud offers a narrower, steeper path, but one that leads to highly defensible, mission-critical roles with a hidden salary premium for specialized knowledge. So we have the jobs, the salaries, and the long-term stability laid bare. Google offers the explosive growth, Oracle offers the fortified castle. But which one should you bet your career on? In the final part, we'll deliver the ultimate verdict and give you a step-by-step roadmap for choosing your path. The verdict isn't a simple name. It's not Google or Oracle. The real verdict is a mirror. It's a reflection of your ambition, your risk tolerance, and the future you're trying to build. Because the right cloud for your US career depends entirely on the kind of professional you want to become. So let's stop asking which cloud is better, and start asking, which cloud is better for me? This is your roadmap to that answer. Step 1. Identify your career archetype. Are you the startup maverick? You thrive on the bleeding edge. You hear beta, and you think opportunity. You want to build things that have never been built before, powered by the most advanced AI and data analytics on the planet. You're not afraid of a fast-paced, sometimes chaotic environment, because that's where explosive growth happens. For you, the choice is clear. You belong in the Google Cloud ecosystem. Your career will be defined by innovation, by leveraging tools like Vertex AI and BigQuery to solve problems others haven't even identified yet. Your path is in high-growth tech companies, disruptive startups, and digital native businesses that live and breathe data. Or are you the enterprise architect? You think in decades, not quarters. You value stability, security, and predictability. You understand that the backbone of the American economy, the banks, the insurance companies, the massive retailers, runs on systems that cannot fail. Your job isn't just to innovate, it's to fortify. You excel at managing complex, mission-critical workloads and navigating the politics of large organizations. You see the value in deep integration and a single, accountable vendor. For you, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is a fortress. It's the platform built for the world's most demanding enterprises. Your career path leads to senior roles in Fortune 500 companies, financial services, healthcare, and government, where your expertise in securing and managing critical data is worth its weight in gold. Maybe you're the hybrid specialist. You see the world not as old versus new, but as a continuum. You're the bridge builder. You understand the legacy systems because you've worked with them, but you're fluent in the language of modern cloud. Your unique value is in migration and modernization. You can walk into a company running on-premise Oracle databases and design a multi-year strategy to move them to the cloud, blending OCI for core systems with GCP for new analytics workloads. You are the most in-demand translator in the tech economy. For you, the strategy is nuanced. You might start with OCI, becoming the go-to expert for Oracle migrations, but you'll deliberately build skills in GCP or Azure to lead the next phase of that company's evolution. Your career is a strategic game of chess, and you own the entire board. Finally, are you the pure technologist? The data scientist, the AI pioneer? You are platform agnostic in principle, but you are fiercely loyal to the best tool for the job. Your career is defined by the power of the algorithms you build and the insights you uncover. You follow the technology. And right now, for large-scale data processing, machine learning model training, and AI innovation, the momentum is undeniably with Google Cloud. Your career isn't tied to a company type. It's tied to the projects that push the boundaries of what's possible. You will go where the most interesting data lives and the best tools to analyze it exist. Once you know who you are, it's time for step 2. Become a local job market detective. National trends are great, but your career is local. Open up LinkedIn Jobs, Indeed, and Dice right now. Don't just search for Cloud Engineer. Get specific. Search for Google Cloud Architect in your city. Then search for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Engineer. Now look past the job titles. Read the descriptions. What companies are hiring? Are they the fast-growing tech startups in your area? Or are they the established banks and healthcare systems downtown? This is your first clue. Next, analyze the required skills section. For the GCP jobs, do they also mention AWS or Azure? This tells you they're looking for multi-cloud fluency. For the OCI jobs, how many times is the word Oracle Database, ERP, or eBusiness Suite mentioned? This tells you they're hiring for a migration and modernization expert. Pay attention to the salary ranges. Is there a premium for one over the other in your specific region? Data doesn't lie. Spend a few hours doing this, and you'll have a more accurate picture of your local opportunity landscape than any generic report can provide. You'll know which cloud offers more doors for you to knock on right where you live. This leads to step 3. Destroy the either/or mindset and adopt the and strategy. The most successful, highest-paid cloud professionals in the United States are not zealots for a single platform. They are T-shaped. They have deep world-class expertise in one primary cloud, their specialty, but they have broad functional knowledge of one or two others. Your goal is not to choose Google or Oracle. Your goal is to choose your major and then choose your minor. If you've identified as the startup maverick, your major is Google Cloud. Go deep. Aim to become a GCP professional cloud architect. But your minor should be understanding the basics of OCI. Why? Because you need to know how to talk to potential enterprise customers who are running on Oracle. Getting a basic OCI foundation certification takes a weekend, but it gives you the vocabulary to be credible in those sales or consulting meetings. Conversely, if you're the enterprise architect, your major is Oracle Cloud. Master it. Become the person who can migrate a multi-petabyte Exadata warehouse to the cloud without a second of downtime. But your minor should be Google Cloud's data tools. Why? Because your company will eventually want to build a modern data lakehouse, and you need to be the one who can architect that solution, integrating BigQuery with your core Oracle systems. This and strategy makes you resilient. It makes you a strategic advisor, not just a technician. It's the single biggest differentiator for a 7-figure career in cloud. So what do you do tomorrow morning? Step 4. Your 90-day action plan. This is where the theory ends and the work begins. In the first 30 days, commit and certify. Based on your archetype and your local market research, pick your major. Then, sign up for the foundational certification exam. This is non-negotiable. For Google, it's the Associate Cloud Engineer. For Oracle, it's the OCI Foundations Associate. This isn't about the badge. It's about forcing yourself to learn the core concepts, the vocabulary, and the fundamental services. It's your ticket to the game. Use the official training materials, find a good course online, and book the exam. The deadline will create the discipline. In the next 30 days, build and broadcast. A certification without a project is like a driver's license without a car. It's useless. Now you must build something. Doesn't have to be complex. If you chose GCP, deploy a simple web application using App Engine, Cloud Run, and a Cloud SQL database. If you chose OCI, spin up an autonomous database and use Datapump to migrate a sample dataset from an on-premise virtual machine. The key is to document every single step. Take screenshots. Create a public GitHub repository for your code and your instructions. Then, write a detailed article about it on LinkedIn or Medium. Explain what you built, why you built it, and what you learned. This single project is now more valuable than your certification because it proves you can do the work. In the final 30 days, connect and converse. With your certification and your project portfolio, you are now a legitimate candidate. Update your LinkedIn profile. Your headline is no longer Aspiring Cloud Engineer. It's GCP Certified Engineer with hands-on project experience in your project. Start connecting with recruiters at companies that use your chosen cloud. Don't just send a blank request. Send a note. Hi, I saw you recruit for company name. I'm deeply interested in Google Cloud and recently completed a project deploying a serverless application. I'd love to connect and learn more about the roles you're hiring for. Engage with content from engineers at your target companies. When you get an interview, you won't just be answering questions. You'll be telling the story of your project. You'll be walking them through your architecture. You'll be demonstrating passion and initiative. Choosing between Google Cloud and Oracle Cloud isn't a technical decision. It's a career strategy decision. One path leads to the fast-moving, data-driven world of modern tech. The other leads to the stable, mission-critical heart of the global economy. Neither is inherently better. They are simply different. The explosive growth of Google, or the fortified castle of Oracle. The question is, which landscape are you built to conquer? The choice isn't just about the technology you'll learn. It's about the problems you'll solve, the companies you'll work for, and the professional you will ultimately become. The roadmap is now in your hands. The time to choose your path and to start building is now.